Welcome back to KTN Prime. Thank you for staying with us. This week, we bring you another fascinating episode of Daring Abroad. Now, one of the highlights of this year's budget is a deliberate effort by the government of Kenya to enhance ease of doing business for foreign investors, especially from Africa. This is in line with the Jubilee administration's economic diplomacy. One of Kenya's targets is Africa's largest economy, Nigeria. But just what can be done to get a share of Nigeria's pie, and what opportunities exist for Kenyans in Nigeria? That is the focus of today's Daring Abroad with Alex Chamwada.
Nigeria has been perceived by many Kenyan investors as a difficult market to crack. Some seeing Nigeria as being too aggressive to compete. Other reasons analysts say are bureaucracy, perceived corruption and shortcuts. But in the busy and crowded Lagos city, there is a Kenyan who is not deterred by the perceived challenges.
It's about time that we enjoy it ourselves.
Meet Nasra Ali, who has just begun coffee roasting business in the city.
Everything is to the highest standard possible.
We find her busy introducing her clients to her products. Nasra imports coffee beans from Kenya and does the roasting at a factory recently opened in the city. On her commodity list, you also find coffee from other African countries, but her main focus is the Kenyan product. First, Nasra sought to tell us about her family roots.
Natoka Nairobi, Kenya, mzaliwa wa Nairobi. Lakini wazazi walikulia pande ya Western, Kakamega.
Kakamega?
Kakamega.
Mrembe?
Mrembe mno. Mimi ni Mkenya. Asili yangu ni wazazi ni wa Somali. Na nilisomea Limuru Girls. Training yangu ni doctor with a masters in public health.
Alafu nauza kawa.
Na alafu nauza kawa.
Coffee is said to be the second most traded commodity in the world after oil, and this is where Nasra believes she belongs.
We have over 50% of Nigeria living under poverty line. And despite being the strongest economy in Africa, those are day-to-day realities that you see. We are trying to be able to provide the best quality coffee at an affordable price. So our target is not to really look at the whole market, but is really to be able to increase the appreciation and the consumption of coffee. If we're able to eventually reach 50%, then we are grateful for that. But the focus is really to be able to make coffee a culture.
So Nasra is uniquely marketing her products under the brand known as Kaldi.
The name Kaldi actually originates from the African boy who discovered coffee. Whenever you ask a lot of people, they will say Brazilian coffee, Colombian coffee. But in true essence, the coffee was discovered in Africa by a young man in Oromo area in Ethiopia called by the name Kaldi. So we've basically owned the name Kaldi, being a true African brand and a true African heritage.
It is the smell of quality that sets one apart, she says, and that quality, in her case, begins right from Kenya, where she buys her beans.
We go to the Nairobi Coffee Exchange in Wakulima House, where we're able to partake into the auctioning. We have the license to be able to buy straight from the auction. So once it comes in, it's very, very difficult to be able to go through the port process with the documentation. Like I said, ideally it would be cheaper to bring in a finished product. You pay about 5% tax, but bringing in a raw material and being the first to bring in green coffee beans into Nigeria, we were charged over 20% tax. So that is very, very high, and somebody has to pay for it. The other thing that is also very expensive in Nigeria is the power. Power is quite erratic, unfortunately, but we're hoping that it will be able to pick up and get better.
Nasra has so far employed 15 people, most of them locals. The law requires expatriates to be only those who can do what Nigerians cannot do.
The company is over 60% Kenyan, and we have Kenyan employees, and 50% of the investment is purely Kenyan money.
This is a glimpse into the do's and don'ts from her experience if you want to invest in Nigeria.
The first step is to liaise with the embassies. We have a very strong Kenyan embassy based in Abuja and the consulate based here in Lagos that has a clear outline on how to be able to invest. They have also been very supportive and helpful in our own establishment. And what is also very important is the scheduled timelines that you need to have in place. So what would probably take in Kenya 3 months or 4 months, you might need to give a leadway of up to 9 months if you're coming to Nigeria.
Kenya's High Commissioner to Nigeria says Kenyans have been shy to venture into the Nigerian market, but now confidence is growing.
What you need to do is get a good partner, be hard about not throwing money around. You have UBA in Kenya, you have EcoBank in Kenya, you have GT Bank in Kenya. Why is it there is no Kenyan affiliated bank here? Why?
The High Commissioner wants Kenyan investors to take advantage of Nigeria as a gateway to the West African region, the way Nigerians see Kenya as a gateway to East Africa. The other area with great potential is agriculture. Nigeria, statistics indicate, is a massive importer of food products, given that its agricultural sector has been dwindling over the years since the discovery of oil.
You drive for miles. It's just nobody's growing anything. If you go to Lokoja on the way towards Lagos, miles, fertile land. This fresh milk tunapenda is not so much in the market.
How about Nigerians investing in Kenya? On that front, one of the familiar names among Kenyans is Aliko Dangote, who has interest in cement production.
But you see, Dangote's strategy is big. It's not only Kenya is looking at. It's looking at Tanzania, it's looking at Ethiopia, it's looking at Uganda, it's looking for opportunities. So if I come to Kenya and I've made an agreement with His Excellency the President to Meskizana, and then I want to get a license, Tom ananipeleka hivi, or maybe nikiipata, kuna this coming up, eventually I say, hey, Skiza, now maybe we'll continue, but let me look at this place. I mean, they've opened a plant in Tanzania now.
Nigerians are said to be big spenders, but is Kenya doing enough to take advantage of that spending power?
We want to position Nairobi and Kenya as a destination so that these people who are leaking, going into Zanzibar, going into Tanzania, they find something to do. And the culture of the Nigerian people. So even when you give them champagne on a flight, make sure it's the real one. Make sure, seriously, they know. Out of Lagos, it has used the Dreamliner more creatively.
The airline's manager for West African Anglophone countries says the company is set to expand its operations in the region in line with its vision of connecting Africans to do business.
We have recently resumed flights into Monrovia after the area was declared Ebola-free, and the cases in Sierra Leone have also come significantly down. And for this reason, as soon as we have enough numbers into Nigeria, willing to pay a fair price, then we will be able to upgrade the aircraft or increase frequencies.
And that's daring abroad.